Well, happy Tuesday and welcome to VA Careers Live. My name is Mike Owens and I'm a national recruiter with the Veterans Health Administration, as well as your host for our weekly segment, Talk About It Tuesday. If you're watching for the first time, I want to let you know that we are here every Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern Time. So feel free to grab something to drink, grab a snack, and join us as we talk about careers here at VA. Also, whether you're here for the first time or you've been here for the last 3 years, remember, we want you to be part of the conversation. So feel free to leave any questions and comments in our comment section. We'll be sure to answer those questions throughout the day and throughout the week to make sure that all your questions are answered and all your comments are addressed. And lastly, we all know someone who wants to work here at VA. So we ask that you please share our broadcast. Again, please share our broadcast. Hit that share button. We have two hashtags that are associated with this broadcast. One is hashtag work at VA. Again, hashtag work at VA. And the second one is hashtag VA careers. Again, hashtag VA careers. Hit that share button and let's get this information out to as many people as possible. So, but before we get started with our episode today, a lot of us, we realize that July is coming to a close, which means that summer is coming to a close, even though summer doesn't actually end for a few weeks. But for most people, you have kids that are starting school in the next few weeks or maybe the next few days. And I'm sure that most of your summer vacations are over with. So my question of today is, if you don't mind sharing, where was your summer vacation this year? Where did you decide to go and have your summer vacation this year? So go ahead and put those answers in the comment section. And I can't wait to see all the many places where that you guys have did your summer vacation. So also today is National Hire a Veteran Day. So we hope that there are some veterans across the country that are being hired at VA today or this week, but happy National Hire a Veteran Day. So today is a very special day. We have an interview with a very special person today. My guest is an Army veteran. So go Army. So if you served in the Army, go ahead and put that in the comment section. Give the Army a shout out. My guest is also from Sacramento, California. So if you are from Sacramento or from the California area, all my West Coast folks out there, go ahead and put that in the comment section to give California and Sacramento a shout out. My guest also, she serves as the Deputy Executive Director of Human Resources Operations for the Veterans Benefits Administration. I know, as you guys know, that I work for VA, but I work under the Veterans Healthcare side of the house. But my guest today is a very important person for the Veterans Benefits Administration. So without further ado, I want to introduce and welcome Miss LaToya Prieur to our broadcast. How are you, ma'am?
I'm well, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing well. So I'm gonna ask you first question. Did you have the honor of having a summer vacation this year?
I did have a summer vacation. My
Nice.
best friend and I went to Aruba. We hung out on the beach and we partied at the jazz festival.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's Aruba. Maybe I ought to come over to the Veterans Benefits Administration. So, but yeah, I'm glad you had a good time, and I'm sure Aruba was a blast. And again, we thank you. We know you're a very busy person, and we're happy that you decided to join us today and take some time to spend some time with me and our audience today. So thank you.
My pleasure. And we always have room at VBA. So whenever you're ready to make that switch, come on over.
Right. My bosses are like, when my bosses are watching right now, like we're taking him off the broadcast now. He's trying to leave us already, trying to jump ship. But all right, well, let's get started. So, as most of people know, or some who don't know, VBA is the Veterans Health, the Department of VA. I don't know why I'm struggling today. It must be that 5 days of leave I just had, but the Department of Veterans Affairs is separated into three pillars. You have your Veterans Health Administration, you have the Veterans Benefits Administration, and the National Cemeteries Administration. So we typically on this show talk about careers within the Veterans Health Administration. But since we have you on and we have this is always a pleasure when we're able to get someone from one of the other pillars on. Can you tell us a little bit about the Veterans Benefits Administration?
Absolutely. So you mentioned VA has 3 child agencies. Veterans Benefits Administration is one of them. And in VBA, we help service members, veterans, and their families buy homes, earn degrees, start careers, and more. We consist of 6 business lines. I'll start with life insurance that was recently expanded this year. So most people know about service members group life insurance, but the program was expanded to include VA for life for veterans with service connected disabilities. We also have loan guarantee service. Loan Guarantee offers VA home loan programs to assist with the purchase, build, or improvement of a home. They also have a specially adapted housing unit. So veterans that have disabilities, they assist with adapting homes for that. This also includes refinancing of existing mortgages. Our third business line is pension and fiduciary. This is a needs-based program that provides monthly payments to wartime veterans who meet certain age or disability requirements and have an income or a net worth within certain limits. And it's separate from the pension that you would get from Department of Defense when you finish active duty and retire. Next, we have Veteran Readiness and Employment, which was formerly Vocational Rehabilitation and Employment. And this service is for service members and veterans that have a disability that was either caused or aggravated by their active duty service. We also have Education Service. They administer GI Bill and other education benefits to eligible service members, veterans, and family members. And last but not least, Compensation Service. They provide monthly tax-free benefits for service-connected illnesses and injuries that were a result of active duty service.
Awesome. Thank you for that description. And I'm sure with everyone that's watching right now, I'm quite sure you're going to have a lot of questions. I know people are jumping in the comment section now. Oh, she works for the VBA. I have questions about my benefits and everything. So get ready for that, Ms. Prieur.
So I work in HR, but I can absolutely make the appropriate referral for those benefits.
Awesome. So one of the first lessons my dad taught me was to never ask a woman her age. So I won't ask you how long you've been associated with the VA, but I will ask you, how did you come about working for the VA?
I began working for VA in 2007 at the Detroit Human Resources Center. I was actually in the process of completing my undergraduate degree. Thanks to the Army, they gave me a nice Army college fund and a GI Bill. And I was really bored because I was going to school full time. And I went on usajobs.gov and I saw an entry-level administrative position where, I could earn some money and not sit at home and be bored all day when I wasn't in school. So that's how I got started as a GS4 program support assistant. And it was basically the equivalent of a file clerk. We had about 5,000 VBA employees that we serviced, and we still had typewriters. And I would type people's personnel actions and make sure they were filed appropriately.
Nice. Now, remember, I didn't ask how long. So when you're talking about typewriters and everything, so you're setting yourself up to let us know how far back you go.
Yes.
I went through high school when we were still taking typing classes with typewriters. So I understand. And I talk to people these days, and they got teenagers that you tell them what a typewriter is, and they don't even know what that is. Like, what is that? So that is awesome. So if I'm watching this broadcast right now, and I'm, most people who watch it, and they know about the different careers on the veterans healthcare side of the house. But if I'm trying to figure out, do I want to work for the Veterans Benefits Administration? What type of careers are available at VBA? And are there any you would like to highlight specifically today?
Absolutely. So we are coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the Promise to Address Comprehensive Toxics Act of 2022, which was passed on August 10th. And for the viewers that might not be familiar with the PACT Act, this legislation is a historic law that expands VA healthcare and benefits for veterans that were exposed to burn pits and other toxic substances. And it empowers the Department of Veterans Affairs to provide generations of veterans and their survivors with the care and benefits that they both earned and they deserve. So many of the positions that VBA is currently recruiting for are to process claims associated with the PACT Act and to answer general questions. So I will start with one of our entry-level positions, which is a legal administrative specialist at our national call centers. These positions are fully remote. So that means if you are selected, you can work from your home residence anywhere in the United States. The salary starts at about $40,000, and that is based on your geographic location. So if you're in a high locality area, like the Bay Area of California, Southern California, New York City, your starting salary will be a little higher. But if you are in, let's say, Boise, Idaho, or Jackson, Mississippi, someplace where the cost of living is a little lower, you'll be right around that $40,000 mark to start. Something else about this job is the job does involve shift work. It's not graveyard shift or anything like that because we are not open. But there are some early morning shifts, and you might work a little into the evening. So it's not normal banker's hours. And the duties are similar to a call center agent. So if you're selected for the position, you'll provide callers with information regarding VBA's 6 business lines that I mentioned earlier. To qualify for this position, you will need a minimum of 3 years full-time general work experience or a bachelor's degree if you'd like to use education in lieu of that general experience. If you're seeking a mid-level career, we also have veteran service representatives and rating veteran service representative positions available. These positions are not remote, but they are telework eligible. So they do have a weekly in-office reporting requirement to one of our 56 regional benefit offices. And the starting salary ranges from $46,000 to $57,000. And again, that varies dependent upon your geographic location and also your level of experience. Excuse me. These positions explain disability compensation and pension benefit programs. They're responsible for gathering evidence, ordering medical exams, reviewing and analyzing medical information, and rating and adjudicating claims for disability compensation. If you are selected for one of these positions, we do offer a comprehensive training program that will outline medical terminology as well as VA laws and statutes that will allow you to successfully perform in the position. And to qualify, you will need a bachelor's or a master's degree or experience working in a clinical setting or rating claims. Those are the main positions that we have that are tied to the PACT Act, but our regional offices also have administrative, finance, and vocational rehabilitation counselor positions that are available nationwide. So I'd like to highlight the counseling positions as well. because we recently updated the qualification standard for those. They do have a positive education requirement, and we plan to host or post a new round of vacancy announcements within the next couple of weeks. So previously, in order to be a vocational rehabilitation counselor, you had to have a degree in rehabilitational counseling or something close to that. But we have expanded the degree options for that. So please log on to usajobs.gov and look for those opportunities. And last but certainly not least, I'm looking at my office door to make sure Dr. Lee, who is the Executive Director of Human Capital Services, he would get on me if I did not mention that we are hiring in the Office of Human Capital Services. So we have HR assistants, which are entry-level positions that will start around that $40,000 range. We also have human resources specialist, supervisory human resources specialist, personnel security specialist. We are hiring and looking for good people to come and support the organization and to make sure that our employees and the veterans that we serve receive the benefits that they are entitled to.
Awesome. But you know what? I know what the last question, or maybe one of the first questions, I told you your inbox is going to blow up. Your inbox is really about to blow up because you mentioned two things that people are looking for: fully remote and
Yes.
telework eligible. So now that you mentioned that and you say you guys are hiring for that, your inbox is about to blow up. So get ready for those notifications. So, but we thank you for highlighting.
Look forward to
it. So if I'm an external candidate, or maybe I work in one of the other pillars of VA, and I want to come over and I'm trying to figure out, am I a good fit for the VBA? What type of candidates do you guys look for when someone's applying for the VBA?
Absolutely. So when you apply through USA Jobs, we look for a couple of things. First of all, your resume. We're looking for you to have a clean and concise resume. We do appreciate the ones that come in with 20 pages. However, if you can limit it to 5, it makes it a lot quicker to review and look at your experience and refer you to a hiring manager. So we look for folks that are able to analyze information, that are able to provide appropriate feedback independently or when asked, folks that know how to edit, how to write well, forecast and predict, create ideas, identify problems, and provide actionable solutions. I think I mentioned analyze information, provide support for others. And we are dealing with veterans who are seeking benefits and services. So definitely someone who is customer oriented and empathetic, because some of the veterans that we service have really endured some traumatic injuries and illnesses. So definitely looking for someone that is customer centric, that will represent the organization well.
Right. So you mentioned something in that first part of that question. So, when people talk about resumes, the general consensus from, most of my guests that come on was anywhere between 4 to 6 pages on your resume. So I'm extremely happy that you mentioned the number 5. So it goes with the consistency. So because that's another question that we get a lot on this program is, how long should your resume be? Should I include everything I did since I was 3 years old, or should I only put the stuff that I've done in the last couple of years? Should I add my volunteer information? But, people ask, how long should it be? So yes, so I'm glad that you answered that question within your answer. So thank you for that. And it kind of gives our audience another person saying, yes, 4 to 6 pages is probably ideal. So thank you for that, Ms. Prieur.
It absolutely is. And then if I could just add another point,
Go ahead.
depending on the type of job that you're applying for, you might need to have 2 or 3 resumes, because if you want to be an accountant, but you have an interest in human resources, those resumes should not be the same. And you should highlight the experience that is applicable to the job that you're applying for. So there's nothing wrong with having 1, 2, or even 3 resumes that are specialized to the position that you want.
Awesome. And that's another thing. Man, you're on the ball. You're on a roll today, Miss Prayer.
What I do.
You're just regurgitating all this stuff, and it's good because people hear me talk or they hear our guests talk, but we don't rehearse any of these episodes before we do them. So everything that you're saying is I'm hearing for the first time from you. But that's another thing we always say. We always say whenever you have a resume, don't just have one resume and apply it to 1,000 jobs. You mentioned you should have a few resumes. I always say, tailor your resume to the position that you're applying for. So yeah, that's awesome. So I'm glad that you're here kind of regurgitating that information. So thank you for that again.
My
We
pleasure.
might just stay live the whole day and just keep you on here, let you answer questions, because you're doing it. You're giving the audience a lot of good points today. So one of my favorite questions that I like to ask guests that are on is, what is your favorite thing about working for the VA?
My team.
Awesome.
I will put my team up against any team in the Department of Veterans Affairs. So, just to give you a little bit of information about human resources, our staffing specialist to customer ratio should be about 1 to 48. And this
Right.
was determined by the Office of Personnel Management. When I started about 2 years ago, we were in the 1 to 250 range. And we've been able, thanks to the VBA leadership and to our congressional partners, that allotted us some more full-time employees under the PACT Act to provide assistance to our customer base. We were able to hire more employees, but I will say my team is a team of doers. We are results driven. And even when we were short staffed, everyone showed up every single day and they worked. So
Awesome.
that is the best thing, knowing that I have a strong team around me that is committed to the mission.
Awesome. And we thank you for your team, and we thank you for everything that you do to serve veterans from the Veterans Benefits Administration side of the house. So thank you for answering those questions. So I have one more, and I'm gonna kind of put you on the spot. And if you don't have an answer, that's fine. Since you said you are an Army veteran and you're active duty, what would you say was your absolutely favorite duty station?
Well, I would have to say I really enjoyed my time at Fort Stewart, Georgia. It
Nice.
was a rapid deployment post, and I did not know that when I got there. So with rapid deployment, we always had a go bag ready, and if my unit was ordered to go someplace, we might get 72 hours notice.
Wow.
So it was an awesome opportunity to serve. I think you and I are from the same generation. So I joke that I call it the Army, but some of my peers that I served with still called it the service, like my
Right.
and my uncles. But it was just an awesome opportunity. I was able to travel, I was able to learn a lot, and I was able to start a career with
Right.
VA. And once I left the service, uh, I have never had a problem getting a job. One thing employers know about veterans is that we are going to be professional. We know
Right.
how to follow orders. We're not afraid of hard work, and we're going to show up on time.
Awesome, awesome. So, if you're watching us today and you served in the Army, go ahead and give the Army a shout out, since Ms. Prieur served in the Army. Also, if you
Cool.
ever served in Fort Stewart, go ahead and put that in there, and even put the years you were in Fort Stewart. But yeah, I think we came from the same generation. I always say that I came from the generation that still had the shine boots and basic training. So
Yes,
um,
sir.
so yeah, but I miss the BDUs. I always say that was the sharpest uniform for inspection when you had them nice and pressed and starched. So but Ms. Prieur, thank you. I know you have a lot that you have to do today, so we thank you for taking the time to be with us today. We thank you for all the great information, and again, thank you from the bottom of my heart, and thank you from my team for being with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you for the invitation.
All right. So with that, for our viewers, thank you for watching. Again, if you have any questions about the Veterans Benefits Administration for Ms. Prieur, or just any information you need, any information in general, go ahead and put those in the comment section. Anything that's specific to Ms. Prieur, we'll make sure that we forward that to her team. Otherwise, we may try to answer those questions to the best of our ability. So with that, thank you all for watching, and we will see you on next week. Have a great day.
Thank you.